Hello and welcome on back to another Taunt episode. I'm your host Teddy, and today I'm being joined once again by
Hayden.
And today we're going to be breaking down our top 10 episodes from the season 2 of the 2003 tmnt show. So quickly I'd like to start off with, what do you think about this season overall?
In brief terms, a really good action-packed season. In longer terms, oh my god, what did I just watch? That's how I could describe it. To be honest, this is like a really weird version of the Turtles. Like, this whole season in general was just crazy. And of course, this is my first time seeing this version of the Turtles, and this was just completely out of whack. I could not believe the amount of wacky and weirdness that went into all these episodes and this whole season in general. It was quite a lot to take in, but it was a really cool season, and I really do like this. I really do like the 2003 version of the Turtles because there's so much more in-depth stuff that they go into. The art's amazing, the graphics are amazing, the stories are more developed, and the characters are more grounded and more dark in a sense. But it's just a really cool season, and the top 10 of these episodes that I have here, these were really difficult to narrow down because there were so many good little episodes, so many good little chunks of what this season and this series has to offer. So it was really difficult, but very much enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm very much the opposite. I mean, I'll just say that I feel like this season did a really good job expanding upon stuff that was set up in the last season, and also be able to take this season, the whole show, in a more sci-fi kind of way. We'll tell us expand with the universe, with them going to space, seeing all the different aliens, going to the traveling the multiverse and all that kind of stuff. This season did a really good job of expanding upon stuff and setting things up for future episodes and seasons. And it's annoying because I feel like at the same time this is also the worst season in the show. I feel like this season has a lot of very stupid moments with a lot of very scenes that you just want to just scream at because they're doing so many stupid things, and it's just irritating. And I would say that with most of this season being made up of multiple episodes, it does also bring that down a bit, just because a lot of the stories, they could be better if they were just maybe half an episode short. But it is what it is. But it's they could have done a lot better. Okay, so let's start off with number 10. So, what's your number 10 episode?
Number 10, this would have to go to the Golden Puck. And I say this lightly, the Golden Puck was an interesting episode, and it was certainly much different, because we got to see new characters, and we got to see, Casey Jones, and it was a little episode of Casey Jones, and I really did enjoy that. But yeah, my number 10 is the Golden Puck.
I will speak about that episode a little bit later. I've got that episode a lot higher on my list.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really do enjoy that episode. Okay, so for my number 10 one, which I feel like might actually be quite surprising, I have Reflections. And I mean, one, I feel like it's just a really great episode just to have a good compilation of just all the best fights from season 1. But also, I like how it shows just how far the Turtles have come up to that point with the story, and all that kind of stuff, and just shows how much the story has developed with Shredder, the characters developed over that short period of time. And when you do look back at from episode 1 up until that point, a lot of shit went down, because you got Shredder, he came back from the dead, he nearly killed the Turtles, they came back, they nearly killed Shredder, they went to space, and then they came back, they found out the Utroms. A lot of weird stuff happened in that period, and I feel like it's really good one to just reflect back on all the stuff that happened in the up to that moment. But at the same time, we were saying in our review for the episode, it did feel like a lot like a filler episode where a lot of it was just, oh yeah, like here's, like some clips, and it's good and enjoyable, but at the same time, I'd much rather just watch like those episodes in their entirety instead of just watching like 5 minutes from those episodes. And also with they really took the piss with like showing them like a clip from like the previous episode, but I do enjoy how it does like showcase like how far they've come. Unlike like other episodes which don't really like, even though it showcases like how far they come, it doesn't do it like this, if it makes sense.
No, absolutely, and yeah, no, I fully agree with you on that one. And that is actually kind of weird because I myself personally, with the Reflections episode, I didn't really find it sort of like intriguing because it's the stuff that's already been talked about. But now that you say it in that sort of sense, that does make a great more sense, really, because it's like reflecting upon the turtles, their life, and how they've come so far with all the troubles and all the hardships in life that they've gone through. They've just had a nice time to reflect all of the trouble, all of the heartache that they've been through, and just talk about it as brothers to get past all their hardships. And I think that's a really cool episode. But for me, it didn't make my top 10, unfortunately, because of some others. But that's a really good start.
Yeah, well, it's still a pretty shit episode, but
yeah.
Either way, moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9. What do you have for your number 9 spot?
Ooh. Okay, this was a very difficult one for number 9, but I'd have to say Return to the Underground.
Ooh, okay.
The reason why... Oh, I'm just getting onto that. The reason why I say Return to the Underground is because I really did enjoy the whole atmosphere that it brought. I really enjoyed that they returned to the Underground to try and save the people, and of course, of which they did. I really liked how they just explored this underground civilization a lot more. They had more time to go in depth with it all, and I really do like the different environments, like the whole hand-drawn environments. The developers and the writers went fully in depth with this sort of stuff, and that's what I enjoy about it. But the little things that I really enjoyed was about the new vehicles, such as I think it was the Turtle Tunneler, wasn't it?
Yes.
The Turtle Tunneler to drill into the underground city and to be a bit more quicker, including the introduction of the Turtle Tech Packs for expeditions. I really like that small little detail. Like, Donnie decided to make tech packs for the turtles to go on expeditions within the underground city, and I just love those little details, like how they can use the tools to fight and explore the underground. And I just really like those small little details because it just makes the episode more grounded and a bit more realistic in a way, even though they are talking turtles. It just makes it a bit more realistic and a bit more grounded in a way, and I just really enjoyed that side of things. And of course, I really enjoyed the fact that we get to see old characters from like the old season, and just like seeing them, how they escaped, how they're thankful for everything that they've done, and of course they found a cure for their illness, being turned into monsters for the Shredder and the Foot. And I just really thought it was quite a cool episode, just with all those small little details.
I mean, I wish I could save. Oh, it's annoying because I had this episode as an honorable mention on like a previous list. But I'll just say that with this episode, I enjoyed how they were able to go back and actually fulfill a promise from like a previous episode, because had this been like 2012, this would have been something which they would have forgotten about, and then would like, probably made like a small comment, be like, oh yeah, we did that off screen. So I enjoyed how they did actually fulfill their promises and actually went back to down there. But at the same time, it felt like a bit of a filler episode, and just didn't really feel like it had any, like, for me, I don't really feel like it had anything new onto what they did previously. I mean, I enjoyed how like they were able to cure the people and get them out and all that kind of stuff, and explore a little bit more the city and all that kind of stuff, but I just felt like there was a lot more they could have done with the episode. And June, like, this is also one of those ones where like they had a few short moments with them just hoping for the best with the tunneler to be like heat resistant to lava.
Yeah, that does
it wasn't one of the finest moments.
No, definitely not. And that is the one bit I hate about the episode. But if you can look past all the other, like the unrealistic bits about the heat shields failing and the whole lava moment, I think it could be a decent little episode.
Yeah. For my number 9 spot, I had April's Artifacts. And
Oh.
What, did I just one higher or lower?
No, I actually don't have that one.
Did you forget about it?
Unfortunately. I didn't forget about it. I just didn't rate it as much as I probably should have. But I want to hear your side to this because I didn't include it. So why April's Artifact?
Well, I'll just say, like, my problems are still there with the whole environment kind of thing, where I felt like, you know, like, I wish that it was a little bit more than just a different colour jungle. So I'll do a little bit more with just the whole setting. But I enjoyed how they was able to just open things up and they were to just, you know, just like take turtles out of like New York and just send them off to a different dimension just for one episode. Why not? And they was able to do some. It was like different. It just felt like different and unique compared to other episodes. We were being in the jungle, fighting bugs, aliens. It was different, but I wish there was a lot of stuff which I like did differently to make it feel a lot more different other than just being in the jungle. That just looks a little bit different. And like April, a few cringy bits there, but like it's one of these 9 episodes which I really like it because it feels so different and unique compared to other episodes. But I just wish that it made more of an effort to try to make it a bit more different compared to just being, oh, it's just, you know, the jungle, but, you know, purple.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's absolutely that's actually quite a good one now that you think of it. But I really wish I could have put it on my top 10, but I don't have enough space, which is a problem. But now thinking I could have probably snuck it in there somewhere, but it was a very difficult decision trying to get the top 10 sorted because there was some little bits that I really enjoyed and some bits that I wanted to talk about more in depth. But yeah, no, that's really cool actually, and I do understand where you're coming from in regards to like the environment. Like for one episode, the turtles are now flung off to this different dimension. They're fighting giant bugs. They're going like full on Tomb Raider and Indiana Jones type style. I think, yeah, no, absolutely. It's a pretty cool one to add in there.
Yeah. Okay, what about your number 8 spot?
Oh. I don't know how you're going to react, but I thought I should give it a mention. I did for my number 8 of my top 10 is the Return of the Justice Force.
Oh, I had this episode a lot higher, so you may speak.
Oh, okay, right. Well, the reason why it's my number 8 was because I really did enjoy the whole different side of the Turtles. Like, originally it was just a comic, but now it's a reality in the universe. Like, we've got Metalhead, Speedy, and of course Domehead as well. And I really just like the twists in it. Like, that is like the double crosses, the betrayals, and the twist at the end. That's what really caught me with this episode. With Domehead's daughter coming out and saying, oh, I was the one that kidnapped everyone. I was the one controlling the Domeheads. I wanted you all here to see, like, my return. And I'd just seen, like, the reaction of all the characters and even myself. Like, I had no idea what was going on. And you'd think to yourself, like, why is this happening? Who's playing who here? And I really like that because it gets your brain ticking away, thinking, okay, who can I trust? Who can I can't trust? And seeing the little twist at the end really caught me. I would have put it higher, but of course, like I said, space on my top 10 was very, very tight. But that's why I like Return of the Justice Force as one of my top 10 for my number 8. Just because of the huge twist at the end. I love that sort of stuff.
Okay, I feel like I'll save my comments for when I talk about the episode. For my number 8, I have the Ultimate Ninja.
Oh, okay.
Do you have it higher, lower? Forgot about it?
Unfortunately, I didn't include it.
Oh my god!
I know, it's a shame. I now realizing I may have could put it in there, but it's no, it was a very difficult selection process. But go on, I want to hear why it's your number 8 for Ultimate Ninja.
It's just mainly just the action. That's
Just the action.
That's what real all got really. It's I mean, you've seen the episode. It's mainly just Leo versus the Ultimate Ninja. There's not really too much I can really say other than that. It's just the action.
Yeah. No, I respect that fully. Like, yeah, just the action, just the full-on fights, the brawls. Yeah, no, that's fine.
I mean, I like how it like set out stuff for the season finale with the Dumyo, the Divine Nexus, but it felt a bit too vague, and I felt like because like it was all new at the time, and Splinter known about it, but didn't really. It just that felt a bit strange, and I feel like they didn't really handle it all too best. But it's a very basic episode with just Leo fighting him, and I can't really say much more than that. But it's like the only good reason why it's on this list, and yeah. Number 7.
Number 7. My number 7 is Junklantis.
Ooh, I don't have the episode on my list. That was actually my most hated episode of the season.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah, you know, because I was saying like the review, like the name of the episode make it sounds like we're going to be going to like something which, you know, like the Atlantis from our junk and all that kind of stuff, but it's just a submarine, and it just felt like it was a very rushed episode, and I felt like the whole name of the episode was a lot cooler than what like the actual episode was for me. But I'm interested to like hear like why you like it.
The reason why I like it is mostly because of the environment. Like the whole underwater vibe, I really did enjoy it. Like the turtles were using the turtle sub. There's probably a specific name for it.
I think there is.
No? Is it not like the Turtle Tunneler or like the Shell Raiser? They usually make some names, but I just couldn't remember or couldn't find any names that resemble it.
Don't think so? Maybe?
No?
Don't use like sub like twice, so like you like don't get too worried about it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But I'm just gonna call it the Turtle sub for now. So basically, the reason why I enjoyed the episode was because of the environment. The environment, the underwater vibes, the exploration of the Hudson River, and just the whole different environment. Just how they made it look like it was underwater just really entranced me in it all. Like the developers took the time to design every little bit underwater, and it was really, really cool. And of course, I do like the ocean. I love the ocean. I love like everything about it. The whole mystery of what's down there, and how we are still oblivious to what is down there, and how deep we can go as a species to explore the oceans. And I just really love when little stuff like this talks about the ocean, because I'm a huge fan. But in regards to like the whole episode in general, like with the characters, the return of the Garbage Man, or the Garbage King, as he announces himself in his new Atlantis, the junk under the sea, his whole kingdom in a giant submarine. It was good. I really did like the return of Garbage Man. Because he was such a cool character in like season 1, because we got to see him like he was building his empire, his monopoly, and how they freed everyone in the revolution. I really did like that, so it was really cool to see Garbage Man return to his whole like underwater city sort of thing. Like you said, I thought it was going to be like a fully like underwater city, not like a submarine that moves around collecting junk off the floor, but it was still kind of cool to see that in action though. Like he does have this somewhat semi-base, but it was mostly in the submarine. But it was really cool to see this whole underwater facade, this whole underwater environment, and how he's managed to create this underwater paradise made out of junk. And it was really cool just to see like the guards, how they've changed like characters and their uniform to fit with their environment, and how they can operate underneath the Hudson River just undetected. And I thought it was just really cool, just with the whole environment in general. But yeah, that's why it is on my number 7.
Yeah, I mean, I'd just say that, like, now I'm saying about, like, the environment, yeah, I forgot about that. I mean, I'd say that I did enjoy, like, the underwater aspects of it, but it's just, I felt like the whole name promised something a lot more exciting than what I actually did get to see. And also, I felt like Garbage Man was a little bit of a downgrade to what it was in the last episode, but...
Yeah.
Okay, for my number 7 spot, I have Rogue in the House.
Oh.
Higher, lower?
It is in my top 10 this
Oh.
time, and it is quite high.
Okay, well, I'm very interested to hear your thoughts when we do get to that one. I mean, I'll say that with this one, I enjoyed Zog. Part 1. Part 1 felt a bit iffy. I want to say, like, it was just made to set up, but that was because it was. But like part 2, with just seeing all the action and also seeing like the early starts of Kurai's story arc with her like wanting to do good, but at the same time wanting to still like do stuff with Shredder. I love that, and seeing that this is where it all begins. It's truly amazing. The horror aspects of it. It was a really great episode just for all the action kind of stuff, and I feel like it only gets better as the episode goes along, and Stockman somehow is still being alive, being a brain in the jar.
Yeah, no, it's mental, because this is supposed to be a kids show, you know, like this is tailored towards like kids, and there you just see a brain in a jar. Like, that's mental how they could get away with that. You could not get away with that these days, could you? Now?
Oh no, not no, definitely not with the parents these days.
Oh god,
but
no.
yeah, I mean, I was even like mainly again, it was just like the action for this episode, but like I did enjoy like other aspects of this one, with like seeing like Hun versus Zog and Leo and like the cry thing. That was amazing. There's a lot. I say for like part 2 had like a lot of good moments, but mainly just the action. But it balanced things out really well, I'd say. Yeah. Okay. So what's your number 6 spot?
My number 6, and this is gonna be, it might be a surprise to you, but I just thought I'd include it in. It was a very tight spot between 6 and 7. So, my number 6 for my top 10 is Return of Nano.
Ooh, that one was an honorable mention of the previous list as well.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah. Why?
The Return of Nano. Well, first of all, I really did enjoy Nano's character. Nano's character is very much full of heartache and a lot of hardship. And of course, seeing Nano return after all this time, after him being like crushed and completely destroyed, and him to return again, was pretty cool. And of course, Nano's character is very, very sad, and I'm not gonna lie, I do feel for Nano as a character. He's been treated wrong all his life. He's been designed in this laboratory as a weapon of destruction by government officials or government labs or a secret organization. Who knows? But he's had some really hard life. And of course, with his new companion, the robber, who's now in jail, just seeing Nano go back and save his supposed adopted father was quite wholesome, because the robber considers him as a kid, and of course his kid, because he made him rich and he got very powerful from it. And of course, seeing the kid and the robber back again, and they were just being wholesome together, was really cool. And of course, seeing Nano unfortunately be terminated from reality once again was as another heartache. And to be honest, an episode like this usually doesn't come likely, but with this particular episode, it really tore at my heartstrings, and that's why I had to put an honorable mention in the top 10, because it was an episode that made me think, like, this character, he's been like killed off again in the most brutalist way possible, and his screams, like, those screams are terrifying. Like, if I was a child watching this and I could hear the screams of Nano, that would just, like, that would shake me. I would be shook. But I just had to put it in my top 10 because it was just one of those episodes that stayed with me, because it just shows that Nano's hardships and his friendship with the robber, even though he's been dealt a bad cards in life, he can find some sort of peace and happiness from it all.
I have to say that with the episode, I felt like it was they were trying too hard to try to recreate the magic of what made his first appearance so. I don't want to say memorable, because I feel like that might be the worst way to talk about that bit.
I could just remember his screams.
Yeah, it just felt like they were trying too hard to try and do a sequel that just wasn't really necessary. I mean, I did find like some bits, as you mentioned, were all the stuff about now as a character trying to find a family and all that kind of stuff to be rather interesting, but it just felt like they were just retreading some familiar ground from the first episode without really doing all too much different. But it was still decent enough. I just wish they did a little bit more to try and make it a bit different. But for mine, number, was it 6? I have Secret Origin.
Oh.
Higher? Lower?
It is on my list. It is higher.
Hooray!
It is on my list, and it is higher. And you'll be very surprised where mine is, but I will let you talk about it first, because I've got a lot to say about that.
Yeah, I would say that mainly just what this episode or these episodes did really well. So it's just with the return, notes from the Underground episode, it was just able to just expand the lore and the history of the universe, and I just love that about any franchise or universe where it's just able to have very rich history and lore with just stuff which maybe I didn't really think about, Sora Tengu, the Utrons, and showing how all that stuff is connected with Shredder and Turtles. It's just a really great way to just lore dump, and it was great because I love that kind of stuff. I mean, I do feel like some of the stuff with them trying to do the big reveal of Shredder being a Neutron was done poorly, but overall, I just love the lore and the history for it. Okay, number 5. Oh, this is getting interesting now.
Ooh. Well, my number 5 on my top 10 list would have to be Secret Origins.
Oh.
Yeah. So, literally, it's just one up from yours. So,
I was thinking
yeah.
I was thinking top 3 or something for you. Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, I really would have liked to put it up there. However, it was a very difficult selection, and I say this likely because it was very difficult trying to narrow down the best episodes that I really liked. But I'd have to include it in my top 5 for Secret Origins, is because of, like you said, the lore dump of it all. I really did enjoy how the lore was developed, the Utrons that crash landed on Earth, finding out Shredder was an Utron himself who escaped captivity from imprisonment and was supposed to be tried for war crimes against the galaxy. That's pretty mental. But yeah, no, I really did enjoy how the Turtles found out the history of the Utron for this virtual reality machine and how it malfunctioned, and how the Utron, how Baxter Stockman came back again in his headless form in a spider, and how he was managed to hack into the mainframe and make the virtual reality real, and so it could harm the Turtles. That was pretty cool. But I really wish I would have put this higher, but like I said, very difficult selection. But yeah, no, I really did enjoy the lore. The lore was very in-depth, and now that you're this far into the season, it all makes sense. And of course, it really did click when I put the 2 episodes together. One at the last season's episode, in which Shredder's head was cut off, basically, by Leo's blade. He was decapitated. And now it all makes sense because Shredder isn't actually human, he's an Utron. And of course, all this time, Shredder has been inside the chest of his Shredder body, and now it all makes sense that the fact that Leo cutting his head off was not going to kill him in the first place. But just seeing that and clipping the two episodes together and just making a connection was really cool, and that's why it had to be in my top 5.
So for my number 5, I have Return of the Justice Force.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's not that much higher than your one, I don't think. But
My one is number 8.
no, not that far off then. Yeah, so I'll just say that with this one, it just, well, I'm a like a big comic book fan, and I like to read all a lot of Turtles stuff, mainly just Turtles. Somewhat dabbled with Marvel and DC, but not much. But like, I know a lot of like the old stuff from like the 60s, and like this is screams golden age comics with just it. Or like I say, or like another good example which you might know is like Adam West Batman. It's
Yes.
a lot of like old cringy superhero stuff, but it does it in a way that it works with Turtles. That surprisingly it doesn't feel like it should, because it's superheroes, and the Turtles are like a form of superheroes and all that kind of stuff, but not in like the traditional sense which the Justice Force are on. But looking at this team, and the adventures they go on with the Domois, it's just like a really fun episode. I thought that's the best way I can describe it. It's just one of those episodes which I have a big smile on my face while watching it, but I can't really pinpoint specifically what it is. But like, I'd like the and it's like a lot of stuff which I just like really enjoy about this episode. Okay,
Oh, cool.
number 4.
Oh, now into like
Yeah.
the last little bit now. So this is our like top 5. So we've had like Secret Origins for myself. You've had Return of the Justice Force. We're getting to the grit of it now. So my number 4 would be Rogue in the House.
Okay.
And I put this very high up because of one main character, Karai. And
I thought I was about to say Zog.
Zog, yes, as well. Zog is another character that I really do enjoy. But Rogue in the House, seeing Karai for the very first time and seeing her character within the 2003 version of the Turtles was really cool, because it's completely different to the 2012 version where she's just a kid. She doesn't have any ambition. She's just one power and hungry, but she doesn't have that ambition or desire to make well of it. But unlike the Karai in this series, she's ambitious. She's a businesswoman. She knows how to make a deal and set the rules. She is cutlass, ruthless, but she's still a businesswoman at the end of the day, and she's trying to run an empire. And this is what I like about Karai in this series, because she knows what she wants and she knows how to get it. Whether she has to make a deal with the devil to do it, or kill some of her allies to do it, is really awesome, because this is a woman that can think. She's manipulative. She can understand the situation. She knows how to get the job done. And this is the Karai that I really do enjoy, because unlike 2012, we had this kid who was running around. Sure, she was Shredder's daughter and all of the other stuff that came with it. This Karai just screamed power. She was in control. She knew what she was doing, and this is what I love about the character. Even though she's the adopted from the Shredder back in Japan, and of course her backstory was a bit tragic, and she was adopted by the Shredder and trained into this master assassin, but also this ruthless businesswoman, and that's why I had to rate it so high for Karai in this as well. And before you say, I do enjoy Zog as well. Seeing an Utron Commando fight alongside the Turtles, that was really awesome. And of course, how he bravely sacrificed himself for the cause, as he says, before he heroically dives into the water and never to be seen again. Yeah, for the Republic, for the cause, for the Empire, basically. And so he just sends it into the abyss, never to be seen again. And I thought that was really cool of him, because a Triceraton Commando, he's die hard for the Republic, for his people, for his empire, and he just sacrifices himself, which is kind of sad, because I really did enjoy Zog as a character, even though he was in a state of perpetual confusion and he thought he was being commanded by his own people, but he died honorably serving the Turtles. So that is why I rate it as my number 4 on this list.
So for my number 4, I have the Golden Puck. I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, I love Casey. The accents they gave for the characters, and it was the snow environment. Oh my god, I love snow. It's and then like seeing like
No.
go with the snowmobile chase, and then doing other chases. It was just it had like a lot of different types of fights, which I feel like definitely like made this episode stand out compared to other ones. We have told like for the final fight on the ice ring, going around throwing everyone around. It was just it was a fun, different kind of episode that just gave us a lot of new, different scenes and opportunities with the turtles, which was just like really nice to see. And then like seeing the turtles go out in public and watch our ice hockey game. It was a different kind of episode that I feel like it showcased like the different sides of all the characters, and also just showing a different side to Casey, showing that he's a little bit more than just, you know, the idiot, but he still has, he does have a bit more of passion and love and history. It's just a really nice episode that just had a lot of good things going for it, and just showcasing a lot of different things which you don't normally get to see, which is just like really nice. Okay, now for the big ones.
Ooh.
So what's your number 3?
Number 3, top 3. I would have to go for top 3. What a Croc.
Ooh, that's my number 2.
Ooh, okay. So we both had the similar ideas.
Yeah.
So the reason why it's number 3 on my list is because of one character in particular, and that's Leatherhead. Leatherhead is my favourite character throughout the entire Turtles universe so far, because 2012 he's this powerful character who's a tragic backstory, and including this one in the 2003 has a tragic backstory and a harsh upbringing. But the Leatherhead in this series I prefer over the 2012 series, I must say. It's because his character is more dark, he's more attuned to hardship. He's been in the Utron labs, he's been in an Utron prison, he's escaped his state of perpetual torture, and he's got his freedom back. And of course he's trying... Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. I'm getting confused again. Sorry, that's my bad.
That sounds a lot like 2012.
It is 2012, and I'm getting my notes confused. Apologies. I have to say, gosh, that was a complete utter mess. Sorry, I meant to say I prefer this Leatherhead because he's trying to get back to his people. He's trying to get back to Utron, and of course in this series the Utron are the good guys, and of course 2012 the Utron were the bad guys. So I was getting a bit confused there, but this Leatherhead was more sincere. That's what I meant to say. He's more sincere, he's more caring, and he's very more defensive over defending his people of Utron, and he wants to get back to his homeworld because the Utron saved him when he was a crocodile after he got flushed down the loo, and of course they brought him in, they trained him, they gave him the ability to speak, to talk, to think, to dream, and he became a part of the Utron race. And of course when Leatherhead tried to get his people back, unfortunately he was left behind during the explosion and the whole chaos of it all. But seeing Leatherhead in this sense being used and manipulated and trying to become this person to try and get back home to his people was a bit more sincere. And of course he's had a dark background, he's had some hardships growing up, and of course the Utron have moulded him into this great character. This one just seems a bit more grounded. Like, I prefer this one over 2012 because he's just a more grounded character in my opinion. Like, he's been taught this new way of life, he has been given the gift of life, and the Utron have just taken that in their stride, sure as an experiment, but as a sort of a son in a way. Like, the Utron have raised Leatherhead to become more peaceful, for more forward thinking, and this is the Leatherhead that I don't usually get to see, but I really do prefer this Leatherhead over the 2012, and that's why I had to put it in my top 3.
Okay, well, I'll say my thoughts just a second. For my number 3, I have City at War.
Oh, now that I really wish I put that in mine, but go
Oh.
on. I want to hear your one.
Well, I'd say there's a few very stupid and very questionable moments in this story arc which I did forget about, like Leo trying to defuse a bomb just because he knows that Donnie knows how to do it, or how we got Donnie trying to hit a robot with a stick despite Leo and Raph not being able to cut through it. There are definitely some very questionable moments within this story arc, but I'd just say that also with this one, I enjoyed how there's able to do the Raph versus Leo an argument kind of thing in a very great way. Just because I'd say if it was 2012, it would have been Raph would have been like, oh yeah, Leo, it's your fault. Screw you. You gotta do it my way. You're wrong. And then at the end, Raph would come around and be like, oh yeah, you're right. But here is Leo and Raph generally have really good points for their sides, and I say is to the point where I feel like whatever one you go with is a very good and very justifiable option for whatever side you choose with Team Raph or Leo, and then seeing how this is something which had been building up to in a few previous episodes with a few little scenes with Splinter watching the news and that kind of stuff, setting things up for this one, and then just even seeing all the action with Han fighting. You got this Third Elite coming in and doing a bit more stuff. They got the mob. It was a very action-packed stuff, and also say bringing in Karai. That was, I'd say they brought her in at a perfect moment to definitely elevate things and make things a little bit more interesting. And then also reveal that Shredder's still alive. It's a really great story arc that I feel like it does a lot of good things, but I feel like it's one of these ones that it goes on for a little bit too long, and there's a lot of very questionable moments, but it's still a very enjoyable story arc with a lot of action, which I just love.
Absolutely. I wish I put that in my list as well, but unfortunately, like I said, very, very tight selection. But yeah, no, absolutely, I 100% agree with you on that. The whole chaos of it all, the city at war, the gangs, the Shredder, the Foot, the whole situation of Leo's understanding whether it was his fault or was not his fault, that was a really compelling argument.
Yeah.
With Turtles, and that's what I really enjoyed about that episode as well. But unfortunately, it wasn't in my top 10. But no, I really do like how you've worded that, because you've now highlighted the fact that the Turtles are continuously thinking whether they're doing the right thing or not. So that is really cool.
Okay, now getting to the more juicy aspects. Number 2.
Oh, okay. Excuse me, sorry. Oh, went down the wrong hole. Number 2 of my top 10 is the Big Brawl story arc.
Ooh.
And I say this, I really do say this, is because the whole, mostly towards the end, mostly the episode at the end, Mikey winning the Ultimate Champion, of the Big Brawl Battle Nexus, the whole tournament, and I really did enjoy that last episode. But the whole story arc in general was just a wake-up call, just to say, look, this is what the Turtles is, but this is what it can be. With the introduction of the different dimensions, of the different worlds, the whole multiverse, that was the most potent thing that intrigued me the most. That was just wow, okay, the Turtles are going into this different realities, different worlds, different possibilities. And, I like to think a lot about what could have happened, how they could have done something better or for worse. This opens up that possibility. People can go into these different worlds, travel different worlds, and they can experience different realities with the Turtles. And that's what I really like about it, because there's endless possibilities, and that's why I had to put it in my top 2 for this, because it just opens up this whole reality, this whole new dimensions, whole new world to explore and to experience, and that is why it is the top 2.
Okay, well, that episode is a little bit high on my list, so
Okay.
spoilers. Yeah. So for my number two, I have what was it? Oh, what did I? Oh yeah. What's a croc? Uh,
Okay.
it's mainly is just Leatherhead. I mean, one,
Yeah.
I do feel like the action with Leatherhead was also like very different with them going underwater, the whole underwater fight with the beginning bit, and then just Leatherhead's voice.
Mm.
Every time, this version 2012, they have really great voices, but this one is, I want to say it's the Leatherhead voice. It's just perfect, like deep enough and just soothing. It's just Leatherhead, and
Yeah.
I just love his
More
voice.
composed.
Yeah, and I also like really like the voice actor as well. Frederick B. Owens, he's a very nice person. Like surprisingly, like he also has a stutter as well. So you know, I'm growing in my community, and and another thing like we should be like really proud of as who we are. He bases his voice off of a British person because he wanted to like showcase like how intelligent we are, and he did that with his Leatherhead voice, and just everything about Leatherhead, and I say for like most of my opinions about how great he is come after this episode, but I can't put those opinions aside because I just love his character and it feels wrong to put his character anywhere like lower, but it's just his character. That's what I really gotta say. His voice is just perfect.
Yeah, no, there's no argument there. That's why I had to put What a Croc in my top three. There was no way I could put him down in 4 or 5. It had to be my top three. But yeah, no, I actually agree with you on that one. Like, Leatherhead is a character. Like
It's
I
almost
was
like
saying
with
before.
Stockman, where like it's just the perfect voice and the perfect character. It's just like it. Like 2003 is like like the version of these characters.
Absolutely, and like I was saying before, his composure, his intellect, is shown in his voice. Like, the voice actor done an amazing job just to show, sure, he can be violent at times, he can be unpredictable at times, but because of his upbringing with the Uchon, he's had an educated life. He can build a transmat, he can do all these things because he's had the education, he's been brought up properly and proper, and he's well educated, and the voice just shows it. It shines through this character so much to say, look, even though he's a deadly creature that could kill you in one bite, he's still a composed gentleman at the end of the day because of his voice, and I think that does real wonders for him.
Yeah, it's definitely like I feel like it definitely like even though he says like I say for like even though like reveals like he's like a smart character, his voice like indicates that there's a lot more to his character than what's being shown. Oh, amazing. Okay, number one. I'm very
Ooh.
wait. Okay, wait, hang on. I want to guess it. Is it Turtles in Space?
You're bang on correct.
Yes.
Yep, that was it that obvious?
Well, after getting this far in, and you saying that a lot of episodes which either weren't on your list, it felt the most obvious. But at the same time,
Yeah.
I was still a bit unsure, just because it's you.
Yes. Oh, I can be unpredictable sometimes, but no, I have to put the number one, the Turtles in Space story arc, because it was just so in depth. Like, it was so creatively advanced for its time. It showed us this whole new world, this dimensions in space. Like, who doesn't love space, you know? Like, tell me, who doesn't love little space adventures, lasers, spaceships, war, and the whole galactic warfare side of things? That's what I really liked about it. It just hooked me straight on this season. Like, we're jumping straight into space wars, space battles, two warring factions, and it really did remind me of a lot of my favourite movie, Starship Troopers, and of course, that movie's all about space, the conquest, adventure, and more, basically militaristic space factions, and they go in their spaceships, they go and conquer worlds in the name of the Federation, and of course, the Federation in this is very somewhat similar to the Federation in Starship Troopers, minus the whole different, minus the whole like aliens, and of course the less of the bug killing, unfortunately. But of course they're still trying to defeat the Triceratons. But I divulge. But basically, I really did enjoy the space story arc because we got to see this whole new world. We got to see alien planets. We got to see alien tanks. We got to see Federation troopers fighting Triceratons with guns, and it was just so much action in these story arcs and these episodes. It was just, I was hooked, and I don't know how much I could say without going round in circles, but it was really cool. The space, the whole galaxy, the world, the teleportation, the technology, the future toy, Dr. Honeycutt, just the whole thing was brought so perfectly well, and we got to see the developers really put their heart and soul into this episode with designing and trying to make this world more authentic, more unique, and just how they did it was fantastic, and because it's in space, and that's really my reason why I had to put it so high on my list as my number one for this top 10 episode, because it was just amazing how much detail they could put into this. How much could they blow my mind with this episode? And they've succeeded in blowing my mind. So that's why I had to put it as number one in my top 10.
Well, I wish with this story, it's always one which annoyed me, just because I wish I could love it and enjoy it a lot more than what I do. But I'd say that I do enjoy them introducing the future toy, the Federation, the Triceratons, and how they do expand this universe in very quickly in a very big way, with opening up to space and all the other different aliens and that kind of stuff. But for me, even though I enjoyed how they were able to showcase all the different planets and that kind of stuff, I just felt like this story just went a bit slow, and I felt like I don't know, it's just something about I just wish that it was just maybe one episode shorter, or just half an episode shorter. I feel like it was just a bit too slow for me, but I enjoyed a lot of it. It's just I wish it was just a little bit faster for me. But for my number one, I had a big rule. Again, mainly it's just the action and the scene, also bringing in Usagi Jimbo, a more comic book faithful adaptation of the character. The other characters like Jen, and just the start of Mikey's obsession with saying I'm the bonus champion, different dimensions, and the Damio, it's just I also have to say that unlike other multiple episodes from this season, this one felt like it had the best pacing, with the first episode being mainly a setup one, but then after that you do get mainly this story aspects with the Balnexus, and then also other different storylines with assassination attempt on the Domio, Splinter being
that was crazy. Yeah,
it was actually I would do multiple different things and then combine it all in at once, and it did a really great job at it. And I think the only downside to this story arc, which I would say is just Draco, where he feels a little bit forced in despite not really being really necessary to the story, despite them trying to make it work. But it works well enough, but they could have done a lot better. But yeah, so I'll just say that overall for the season, looking back on this list, I don't think the season was as strong as season 1, but this season had a lot of decent episodes, I would say.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that one. The whole big brawl was certainly very different, but yeah, no, I agree with you on why it's going to be your top number one. I knew it was probably going to be your top number one because of Usagi Jimbo, and I know you I know you that you like Usagi Jimbo because of his whole character. He's a ninja warrior, samurai, bunny or rabbit. I don't know what he is, but he's a cool rabbit. He's a mutant. Well, a rabbit that has samurai blades and can fight. That's a pretty cool thing. But I was thinking it was going to be your number one.
Yeah, okay, so Usagi, he's a samurai rabbit. He's not like a mutant or anything. In his world, like, animals are like the people. uh,
Yeah,
so, so not really mutants? Maybe?
yeah. I didn't know what to say because I'm so used to the turtles being in
Yeah.
New York and them being the mutants, and now going back to Big Brawl to see the mutants are the people. It's a very confusing time.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, let's go with that. But, yeah, anything else to say about the season, or are you all done with this one?
To be honest, I think I've managed to get all the episodes down that I needed to say, and overall, this season has been very much enjoyable. Very crazy, I will not lie. Some parts I did question what was going on and why it was happening, and there was some times where I did question it, and sometimes there were parts and which I didn't like. But overall, this season, with its all different story arcs, was very much interesting. It was all very much interesting. I know I say this quite a lot, but because this is all new to me at the end of the day. Seeing what the Turtles can bring, seeing what the Turtles can do, is a very interesting little story that we're going through and being along for the ride. So I think it was a very action-packed season, very confusing at some parts, from going from space back to the Utron, back to Karai, back to the Ultrons, back to like the Justice Force, the Underground. It was a very much action-packed season, and trying to process it all is just even crazier to think that they've managed to squeeze this much wacky and craziness into one season is very impressive.
Yeah, I'd say that this season is definitely a downgrade compared to the first season, but I felt like there was definitely like a lot of really great moments and episodes within this season. A lot more stupidity, a lot more questionable stuff, but I feel like what this season did really well was able to expand upon a lot of stuff from the first season and then take things in a more unique direction with where things do go. Okay, so for next week's one, as I normally do, we're going to be doing a little break, seeing what happens in another universe, and so and for this time we're going to be going back to the comics, and it was one. Do you remember the one with Raph being homeless and then finding his way back to his brothers, and then the reincarnation?
Yeah.
Yep, we're going back to that one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. So let me quickly try and find that list for you, all the because I got the list of comics, which I think there's about 6. I want to say in this time, which in for next lot of stuff. So this is going to be rather interesting with your one. I'm gonna go over like a little description. I want to hear your opinion about. Okay, so first we've got a issue that's dedicated to Raph and focus on him and all that kind of stuff. And we're gonna be seeing a new character, which I got a feeling that you, depending on your opinions on a certain type of hobby that people like to do, will definitely influence your opinions on the character.
Okay, is that a good way or a bad way? Are we?
Well, judging from your opinions on the past with this hobby, you've not spoke fondly of it, so it'll be interesting. But at the same time, it's not as bad as that hobby. But the character will be a lot better than the hobby. But you'll once mention the hobby, you'll be like, "Oh shit, yeah."
Okay, gotcha. Brace myself for that one.
Okay, but we've also got a Mikey focus issue where he's going to be stealing a diamond to try and stop some robbers.
Wait, what? Stealing a diamond to stop it getting robbed in the first place. It's a bit counterproductive, don't you think?
I don't know, it's Turtles. What do you expect?
Yeah, good point.
Also going to be having a Donatello focus episode where he's going to be trying to stop another scientist from creating a device to kill the turtles.
Okay.
Sounding insane yet?
Yeah, it just sounds crazy. Like,
And then also to top all things off, we begin to see the turtles fighting the Mousers in this universe.
sorry, what did you say? Mousers?
Yeah, do you remember the
Oh
Mousers?
yeah, sorry, I thought you
Bax's-
said mountain. It's like fighting a mountain. What?
Okay, I know I have some speaking problems, but I'm not that bad.
Sorry, you cut out on my end. Sorry, I heard mountains. It's like mountains. Like, what is he on about? It's like Mousers. It's like, okay, Mousers. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that makes a bit more sense now.
Yeah, it makes a bit more sense. It's like, why would they be fighting a mountain? What's?
Oh, Christ.
No, it makes more sense. Yes, very much more sense.
But yeah, do you have anything else to say for this episode, or are you done with this one?
Well, I'm pretty much done with this one. I've got a lot off my chest about this season, and I'm absolutely knackered.
But yeah, so yeah, there's been an episode of Talking Tales. I've been your host Teddy,
And I've been Hayden.
and we'll see you all soon. Goodbye, yo, bye.
Bye.